Hello YTPC, Mark here, smoking my Blake Briar's Aristocrat, and in it I am smoking some of the Yanez cigar cake from last year. It's not the Romeo Juliet one that he did, but it was the one that he did as the cigar blend for last year. As you can tell from the title, this is a VR to Trucking Piper Bob, and he's asked us to talk about books, our favourite books that we had in our childhood, and obviously who was our favourite sort of authors or books that we enjoy today. Well, send you smoke signals. Well, the first one will be very easy, because like Bob, and I'm pretty sure everybody who's going to be doing these VR videos, we used to pretty much get a child book or an annual for Christmas. Now for me, my dad was really into science fiction and the old Hammer horrors, etc. And the great thing was that, you know, he got me into them pretty much as quick as he could when I was old enough. And I used to always remember on a Friday night, he used to have sort of the 10 o'clock news match of the day, and then they would put like a Hammer House of Horror, Dracula, Frankenstein movie on, and on the rare occasions that I could actually stay awake that long, I would sit there and watch them with him. So yeah, he pretty much got me into sort of the stuff that I love today. And I always remember he came home one Friday and he brought us a comic book back, and it was the weekly comic 2000 AD, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then every Saturday, without fail, I mean, even when I was, you know, out of school and first job, etc., without fail, every Saturday he used to pick up his newspaper and he would pick up the 2000 AD comic for me. And I mean, I went on to collect that till about, I don't know, about 2002. And because I was moving around a lot, you know, I realised that I was literally had half a van full just of comics and books and things. I thought, right, this has really got to stop. But when I was a kid, my dad would always get me the annuals. I always remember this is a special one because I picked it up when we were on holiday in the Isle of Wight. So yes, he would always pick up the 2000 AD annuals when I was younger. Still have them. One of them, I think my 1983 one was beyond repair. Now, luckily I managed to pick this one up a good few years later. And so yeah, that was sort of the thing for me. It got me heavily into comic collecting. Like I say, it got to the point where I really had to call it a day and stop doing it. And I wasn't a real huge book reader when I was younger. Obviously, I used to pick up the odd ones, and like any young lad, obviously I was too busy wanting to get out having a drink with my mates and, you know, seeing how lucky I could get on a weekend. Didn't have time for books. But yeah, obviously when I did start, it was mostly when I used to work night shift, because when I finished work, I would go home in the morning and I used to sort of chill out before going to bed and read a book. And one book that really stuck out for me was the Stephen King's The Stand. And I mean, this thing is like a brick. And the strange thing is, this is the only book that ever gave me nightmares, because I used to read this on the morning before I went to sleep, and you know, it gave us nightmares, believe it or not. And so yeah, I've read a few Stephen King books, and again over later years, you know, Lee Childs, I like the Reacher books. Ian Rankin, I used to have all of Ian Rankin's books on hardback, and that was one of the things I used to always ask my sister for Christmas, because she used to always bring out a hardback book around that time, so she used to pick it up for us as a Christmas present. And sadly, a lot of them, because I was moving around a lot at the time, I lived down south, came back to the northeast. I lived in Scotland, in Edinburgh, which was great when I was reading the Ian Rankin books, because obviously I was going around the areas where the books were based. Sadly, one of the times when I moved, when we'd sorted out all of the stuff, a couple of boxes must have got mixed up with what I was taking down to the tip, and I lost a lot of books, and my art portfolio, a lot of my art stuff went as well, which was a big kick in the teeth. But luckily, one book that I still have that me dad did buy us was the Arthur C. Clarke's The Ghost from the Grand Banks. Obviously, as you know, I loved anything to do with the Titanic. I used to keep books on the Titanic and stuff like that. I think everybody at some point in their life becomes a bit obsessed with that ship and its tragic story. And obviously, in the late 80s, she was discovered at the bottom of the ocean. And one of my favourite films, of course, is Raise the Titanic, which obviously is a total sham now, because obviously we found out that the ship split in half. But I still like that film. It's a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. And obviously, Arthur C. Clarke wrote this book, and my dad got this for my 21st birthday. So yeah, I've had this quite a while now, and it's funny enough, it's I'm gonna have to give it another read. It's been a long time since I've sat down and read this book. And but I think for me, one of the best things ever. I mean, I know a lot of people will probably cringe, but I do love my Kindle. This is absolutely jam-packed with books. I read every day, every night when I go to bed. I'll always have a good hour if I can, and read. So yes, I'm quite a big fan of that. Strange to think. I think when you get older, I do think you tend to read. You do read a lot more, because again, you know, we're not at an age now where, you know, we out on the piss as much and running around with your mates, etc. So I think you appreciate it more as well than when you were younger. So yeah, there you go, Bob. A little dip into my past there. I think I did do a video a few years ago for Vlad the inhaler because we got talking about comic books and 2000 ADs, etc. So there is a video out there somewhere in my collection where I have a little chat about it. So yes, many a quiet Christmas day, because you know you opened all your presents, and once I used to have Christmas dinner I would sneak off and all those toys, but no, I wanted to go and read my latest 2000 AD and Judge Dredd annual. And I think again because that got me into drawing and artistry and stuff like that, so again I used to always copy the artists, and had these dreams of being a comic book artist. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've always been, thankful of. My daddy introduced me to that genre. So yeah, there we go. It's interesting to note, I think 2000 AD came out in 1977, and I did get the odd ones, but I don't think it was until sort of the late 70s, early 80s when I started getting it sort of regular and every week sort of thing. So yeah, there we go. Trouble is now I've got boxes and boxes of graphic novels there that when we had our old place and the loft was converted, I had that as my little man cave, game and cinema room. So I had all like the bookcases that was just full of all my graphic novels and everything, and I have got rid of quite a lot of those as well, but I've still sort of kept sort of the ones that mean a lot to us. So yeah. Happy days. Well, there you go, Bob. So, and everyone else, thank you for watching. I hope you're smoking something nice. And I wasn't expecting to do a video this soon, but I caught Bob's video earlier and I thought, right, I know where they are, I'll dig them out and I'll do a quick VR. So there we are. So I will catch you all in the next one. Have a great week. Bye for now.